Hello everyone. My name is Stacy Cohen. I'm an LPC and spiritual life coach at the Center for Soulful Presence. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to win an argument. Everybody wants to know, how do I win an argument? One of the key factors in winning an argument is actually defining what does it mean to win. I'm right. It's obvious they're wrong. They're wrong. I need to prove to them how right I am. They need to understand me. They need to get what I'm saying. No, you completely are off base, right? These are some of the things that people say when they're in an argument. And a lot of times what people don't understand is that they are trying to prove their value to another person by how right they are. But what if our value is not based on how right we are? What if our value is based in just an intrinsic awareness that we are valuable because we are people? We are human. A lot of times we get into this dualistic and very black and white kind of thinking that blocks us from seeing that if I'm intrinsically valuable, that means even though I don't agree with you, you too are intrinsically valuable. And when people get into arguments, one of the tactics they might use, if they're steeped in this idea that one's value is determined by one's rightness, is that, hey, well, let me point out things that are wrong with you. Which would just prove and crystallize my point that I'm right and you're wrong. Well, my question to you is this: what if two truths can coexist? Now, a truth for one person might not be a truth for another. Two truths can coexist. One does not necessarily negate the other. And a lot of times there becomes this kind of like one-upmanship kind of contest when you're trying to prove a point to someone else. The problem with that is that no one person can negate another person's value. Because if you were intrinsically valuable, it's not determined by anything. I know that a lot of people would argue this point. This is kind of a challenging perspective because there's so many things in this world that is based on polarity. Left, right, racial lines, religious lines. However, if everyone is intrinsically valuable and everyone is, in fact, a temple, so what someone does with and for the temple, each person's temple, is irrelevant to another. One thing cannot take away from the other. So, that concept of energy can neither be destroyed or created, right? It just is. So And arguing whether one person is more right than the other is not going to add or subtract. It's not going to create or detract. It cannot. So if you find yourself in that push-pull, that right-wrong, it may be a sign, maybe some time to do some self-reflection. Hey, do I need to be right? You know, to prove that I am somebody? And why would you even want to convince someone else that will neither destroy or create your value? It's impossible. So consider the idea of, hey, you may be right. You may be right. According to your truth, you may be right. According to what you believe, it's okay. Not everyone has to affirm you. It's not anybody else's job. If you see a direct mirror of yourself, it's a gift. Woo, we believe the same thing. Wow. Isn't that a joy? And yet, even that is not going to take away, or it's not going to add any value to you. But so often we struggle when people are not affirming your isness. No one can. So the question that you might ask yourself is, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because a lot of times trying to prove your rightness is not necessarily going to bring peace into your life. And you, oh no, I need to be right. I need to show them. Okay. It's not going to create, it's not going to destroy anything. So it's a little bit of a, maybe not necessarily a, well, it can be a counterintuitive experience, approaching it from this stance. Take it or leave it. Because whether you agree or disagree with what I'm talking about, it's not going to detract from my value. So, just a little food for thought. Again, my name is Stacy. I'm with the Center for Soulful Presence, and I am ever grateful for you taking the time to watch this video.